Mike, you say based on what you know, you do not believe any of the 6 officers committed a crime in the arrest of Freddie Gray. Can you explain why you believe that? What led you to that conclusion?
It's basically based on my experience. I'm a retired police officer. I've been involved in investigations in the past. I've been an attorney for the past 16 years representing police officers in the state of Maryland. I've had the opportunity to see what has been provided to the public and have had the opportunity to speak to some of the officers involved. And based on what I've seen, what I know of the investigation and the evidence that they currently have, I just don't believe that there was any criminal acts committed by the officers involved.
So how do you believe that Mr. Gray received the injuries that he got?
I really can't explain that at this point. I'm hoping the investigation will make that determination. At this point, I think the video evidence is clear that when he got into the van, he was standing on his own on the bumper, getting into the transport wagon. He was able to turn his head and yell back to the crowd as he entered the van. There didn't appear to be any distress or anything of that nature when he got in.
So when you see the video, you believe he's standing on his own? Because I think when a lot of people see that video, they see a guy being dragged. At one point, it seems like he put some weight on his left foot, but he's left leg, but he's still being held up. And it's not exactly clear what happens at the bumper of the vehicle, is it?
Whether he was dragged due to his inability to walk or his refusal to walk, I believe it's his refusal to walk based on the fact that when he is stood up on the bumper, he's clearly standing and he's turning back and yelling.
Isn't, though, the most logical explanation that that injury occurred prior to him being placed in the van?
You say that might be the most logical, but we don't know that. There's no one or there's no evidence that has come forward. You've seen the videotape. I've seen the videotape. The police officers, based on what's on video, are not using excessive force. The only force you see is limited to him holding his legs down while they're waiting for the transport van.
How does someone get 3 crushed vertebrae in the back of a van?
I think that's a question for the investigation. The investigators are going to have to make that determination based on the medical evidence, based on the environment inside that transport van to make that determination.
Do you know, based on your conversations with the officers, if Mr. Gray was strapped in or seatbelted before the van took off?
The information that we're getting throughout the investigation is that he was not seatbelted in.
And then the van, we're told, drives for a bit. Then the officers stop, take Mr. Gray out, and apparently put leg shackles on him. Why would they do that, as far as you know?
It's not unusual for large crowds to begin to gather and be threatening towards the arresting officers. It's not unusual to get someone into a wagon as quickly as they can, drive them 2-3 blocks, remove them from the wagon, depending on their degree of resistance or aggravation and what they're doing in the back of the van, place leg shackles on them, place them back in the van in order to get them away from the crowd that's gathered. That is not an unusual circumstances in Baltimore. And I would imagine it's not an unusual circumstance anywhere in the country.
I spoke, Mike, to an eyewitness earlier who had actually recorded a video that a lot of people have now seen. He says he heard, didn't see, but heard Mr. Gray get tased. To your knowledge, did the officers use tasers on him?
There was no taser used. I believe Commissioner Batts explained that in his press conference on Monday, that as Mr. Gray was running, one of the officers did have a taser, yelled taser, 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 as they're required to do prior to deploying a taser. However, it was never deployed, and I believe Commissioner Batts clearly stated in his press conference that there is no medical evidence that Mr. Gray was ever tased.